It's dawn. Please wake up. Woken by Nano in the morning, I went to take a bath. It seems this inn also allows guests to use the bath anytime, except for the late-night cleaning hours. I had the whole bath to myself. Life with a proper bath is truly the best. After my bath, I checked the information the drone had gathered overnight. As expected, the monster distribution on the Great Sea of Trees side was on a whole other level. Oh, this might be a good one. It was almost time for breakfast, so I headed to the dining hall. Last night, when I told the innkeeper, Kira-san, that we would be leaving early, she offered to prepare breakfast for us at an earlier time. I told her not to trouble herself and that the usual time was fine, but she insisted she'd be awake anyway, so I gratefully accepted her offer. Shortly after I went down to the dining hall, everyone else came down and we had breakfast right away. It consisted of bread with some kind of jam, a salad, and a hearty soup full of ingredients. A perfect breakfast. Once we finished eating, we got our gear ready and headed to the Adventurers Guild. It took about 15 minutes to get there, and the inside was already bustling with adventurers. It's packed, and it's still early morning, I remarked. The guild is always crowded in the morning, Elna said. Everyone was intently studying the request boards. All right, let's split up and check the B rank and C rank boards. We're just testing the waters today, so no requests that take us too far out. Got it. The requests were posted on boards separated by rank. Since we were C rank, the highest rank we could accept was B rank. The B and C rank boards weren't that crowded, so we were able to look through everything pretty quickly. We gathered a little way from the boards so as not to be in the way. Find any good requests? Nothing in particular, Elna replied. The others also shook their heads. There were escort quests and requests to collect various unknown magic stones and materials, but they were a bit difficult for us, being novice adventurers. You're right. Well then, shall we go take care of a standing monster extermination quest? Standing quests are requests that are always posted, like buyout of Greyhound magic stones, 300 genie each, with a 50 genie subjugation reward. No one seemed to have any objections, so the plan was set. However, there was no point in heading out blindly. We should decide on a target. What should we hunt? I was thinking orcs might be good. The buyout for an orc's magic stone was 600 genie, with a 150 subjugation reward. They were less trouble to defeat than greyhounds, and they seemed like a good match for our party where everyone can use magic. I think that's a good idea, but the problem is where to find the orcs, said Elna. Leave that to me. I have a hunch about a place where they might be. All right then, let's go with an orc hunt, Elna conceded. The only problem is that the place is a bit far. It's over 15 kilometers away. A bit too far to walk, don't you think? That's true. In that case, since we have horses, let's go by horse. It's a pity not to give Tars and Sira some exercise. We can rent any extra horses we need from a stable, Elna suggested. Oh, so a place like a horse rental exists? That's great. The only problem is where to find one. We left the Adventurers Guild and were looking around for a rental stable when someone called out to us from nearby. Looking for something, big bro? I looked and saw a scruffy-looking boy, maybe 10 or 11 years old. Yeah, I was wondering where the rental stables are. I can show you the way, big bro. How much? 5 genie. All right, I'll take you up on that. Thanks for the business. My name's Theo. There are 2 stables. One's expensive but has good horses, and the other's cheap. Which one do you want? The expensive one. That's what I like to hear, big bro. Just a sec. Theo ran over to a little girl in ragged clothes, about 4 years old, who was standing a short distance away and pulled her over by the hand. This way, big bro. He started leading the way, practically dragging the little girl along. Hey, you don't have to rush. Is she your sister? Yeah, she is, big bro. Hey, Ella, say hi to the big bro. Ella, big bro. I see. I'm Alan. Nice to meet you. Luckily, the rental stable was in the same direction as our inn, so it didn't cause any extra trouble. All right, Theo, here you go. I handed him 5 large copper coins, 50 genie. Huh? But you said 5 genie. Use it to buy Ella something to eat. Thanks, big bro. Come on, Ella, thank the big bro. Big bro. That's not exactly thank you, but close enough. While Elna was picking out 3 horses, I saw Theo receive some small change from the stable owner. It seemed they had a system where you get a commission for bringing in customers. The price for a rental horse was 300 genie per day, with a required deposit of 10,000 genie per horse. Of course, you get the money back later, but a poor person wouldn't be able to afford it. With the 3 horses Elna had approved, we headed back to the inn to get Tars and Syrah. Theo and Ella followed us.
What's up, you two? Well, you paid way too much, so I'm gonna guide you some more, big bro. We're leaving on horseback as soon as we get back to the inn. We don't need anything else. Then we'll see ya off. We're free anyway. Do what you want. Alan, why don't we ask Theo to take care of our trash? Serena suggested. Oh, I'm great at taking out the trash. That's kinda my main job. I'll throw out anything, big bro. Well then, why don't we ask him? Did we even have any trash? As the stable boy at the inn helped us prepare Tars and Syrah, Serena and Sharon came from our rooms carrying the preserved foods we hadn't eaten on our journey: dried meat, hardtack, and dried beans. We'd eaten very little of it, so it was quite a large amount. I see. It's true, we probably wouldn't eat it now, and it would definitely become trash soon. Serena and Sharon are quite the softies. This is the trash? It's still edible, but we're not going to eat it anymore. You can have it, said Sharon. Thank you, big sis. With a grand send-off from Theo and Ella, we departed. Apparently, there's no particular check when leaving Gantz. We mimicked the adventurers who went before us, flashing our guild cards at the guards as we passed through the gate. All right, this way. I took the lead. Our destination, of course, was toward the Great Sea of Trees. Although it was called the Great Sea of Trees, the area near Gantz wasn't densely wooded, and I had already confirmed from video footage that we could reach our destination on horseback. In the 2 hours it took to travel, we eliminated 5 greyhounds and 3 goblins. It seemed the number of monsters on the Great Sea of Trees side was indeed in a different league. We dismounted in a place with a good view from the sky. Have we arrived? Asked Elna. Yeah, about 700 meters from here, there's a huge swarm of orcs. That's an orc settlement? Elna questioned. Do they build settlements? The Monster Encyclopedia didn't say anything about that. They do. Alan, this is reckless. Attacking an orc settlement with just this many people? Elna exclaimed. You think so? Let's see. There are about 75 of them. Hey, Elna, is the counter for orcs heads? The counter for orcs is hiki, a general counter for smaller animals. Alan, this is reckless. 75 orcs is... wait a minute. Can we actually beat them? Said Elna, her tone shifting. Elna, I don't think it will be a problem, Cleria commented. I agree. I think so too, Sharon added. Understood. Let's do this, Elna resolved. We tied up the horses, drew a simple map on the ground, and discussed our strategy. We decided it was better to advance together from the front rather than splitting up, and if any unforeseen situation arose, we would run back here. D1, don't let any monsters near the horses. Understood. The 5 of us proceeded cautiously through the forest. When we were about 200 meters away, we saw 2 orcs walking toward us. They weren't coming straight at us, but were crossing our path diagonally. Of course, they hadn't noticed us. Using hand signals, I asked Claria to take care of them. I pointed to the back of my head, signaling for a headshot. After they passed in front of us, 2 of Claria's flame arrows materialized and struck the 2 orcs in the head. The orcs collapsed without making a sound. We advanced another 100 meters silently. This time, we detected a group of about 5 orcs that weren't moving. As we got closer, we found 5 orcs sleeping on the ground in a small clearing. They were snoring loudly. With a sign, I instructed Claria, Sharon, and Serena to go for headshots. A flurry of hand signals passed between them as they decided who would target which one. Once decided, the 3 of them stood up and unleashed their flame arrows. Every shot hit its mark on the head. It seemed Sharon and Serena took 2 each, while Claria took 1. We continued for another 200 meters and found another 7 sleeping orcs, which Claria, Sharon, and Serena dispatched in the same manner. That made 14 down, with 61 remaining. After approaching another 100 meters, we could see what Elna had called a settlement. It was a circular clearing about 150 meters in diameter, with structures that looked more like sunshades than huts, made by leaning long leaves against each other. Most of the orcs were sleeping under these shades. At this point, it would be best to attack from a distance with magic. Let's take care of the ones standing or walking around first. I directed Claria, Sharon, and Serena to take turns performing headshots. Thud, thud, they fell, one after another. Just as the 9th one fell, a shout echoed from the back of the settlement. We'd been spotted. Everyone, commence attack at will. Giving the command, I walked into the settlement. I began locking onto targets one after another, unleashing volleys of 10 super high-speed flame arrows at a time. Naturally, they all struck their targets squarely between the eyes or on the temple. Orcs collapsed left and right. I could see Elna's windcutter flying. After decapitating one orc, it continued on, taking off more heads. Not bad, Elna. After I had fired several volleys of flame arrows, a tremendous roar erupted from the back of the settlement. What is that? Ellen, this is bad. It's probably a general orc, Elna shouted. Sounds impressive. I could see a particularly large, well-built orc approaching from the back of the settlement, roaring. It was still 70 meters away, but compared to the other orcs, it had an incredible presence and a commanding air as it walked. It had to be over 3 meters tall. Elna, tell me, what's so bad about a general orc? Alan, it's a general orc. That's, police defeat it without damaging its face. Roger that. The general orc collapsed unceremoniously with 5 flame arrows buried deep in its torso. It seemed Claria, Sharon, and Serena had finished hunting the rest of the orcs. Whoops, there are a couple hiding over there. I took care of the 2 orcs hiding in the bushes. That should be all of them. All right, mission complete. Good job, everyone. Claria, we took down something amazing. Let's go see it. I called out to Claria, who was nearby, and we went to see the general orc. It looked clearly different from the other orcs. It was probably 3 meters and 20 centimeters tall. It had a vicious face with 2 tusks extending upwards from its lower jaw. What an intense face. Elna, why couldn't we damage its face? I heard that a taxidermied head sells for an incredibly high price. They say it works as a charm against evil, Elna explained. Ugh, what bad taste. I can't understand the nerve of someone who displays something like this. Well, if it's worth a lot, I guess we'll take it back. Let's cut it off and drain the blood right away. Everyone, let's collect the magic stones before other monsters show up and then get out of here. Oh, and the proof of subjugation is the right ear, so don't forget it. I handed everyone 2 burlap sacks each and asked them to collect the magic stones and right ears. It took the 5 of us about an hour and a half to collect all the stones and ears. In the General Orc's hut, or rather sunshade, we found what seemed to be an adventurer's old sword, some metal fragments, 5 large silver coins, and a few small coins, totaling 575 genie. For a pig, it seemed to have a taste for precious metals. We'll just collect the coins. All right, let's pull out. Phew, I'm tired from collecting all those magic stones and parts, said Sharon. Tell me about it. I wonder if there's an easier way to get magic stones out. But Alan, the hand signals you taught us were incredibly useful, said Elna. True, I guess it makes sense, since they were apparently designed for exactly this kind of operation. We returned to the horses, mounted up, and immediately headed for Gantz. It was already past 11 in the morning. We would probably get back to Gantz around 1 in the afternoon. Fortunately, we didn't encounter any monsters on the way back and arrived safely in Gantz. We dismounted and showed our guild cards to the guards. What's in the bags? Orc magic stones, ears, and a severed head. Want to see it? No, that's fine. You may pass. We reached the Adventurers Guild, and I hesitated. Normally, we should have returned the horses before coming to the guild, but I was mentally exhausted. I tied the horses to a parking space in front of the guild, and the man I saw yesterday approached. Looking closely, I saw that one of his eyes was crushed. It looked like an old wound. How much? For 5 horses, that'll be 50 genie. Here you go. Thank you kindly.
The man and his companion stood guard over the horses. Now, where's the reception desk? It's probably this way, Elna guessed. We went to a counter that was different from the normal reception with a large table. The sign read, Appraisal Desk. What have you got? The man at the counter asked. Orc magic stones, right ears, and a general orc's head. You've got a good sense of humor, kid. He held out his hand as if to say, give me the bag, so I handed him the burlap sack containing the severed head. The man peeked inside. He flinched and quickly closed the bag. What is this? A general orc's head. You were serious. He slowly opened the bag again and peeked inside. He immediately closed it again. Hey, I'm gonna go get someone, so just wait here. He placed the burlap sack on the counter and ran into the back of the guild. I wonder what that's about. Beats me, said Sharon and Serena in unison. Well, I expected this would happen, Elna commented. A total of 6 men came running from the back of the guild. Which one is it? This bag here. The man who had just arrived peeked inside. No doubt about it. This will disrupt business out here. Could you all come to the back with us for a moment? Understood. Let's go. We were led into the back of the guild and shown into a room that looked like a conference room. Without any regard for staining the table with blood, the General Orc's severed head was placed on it.
Could I see your guild cards? We handed over our guild cards as requested. C rank, huh? Where did you get this General Orc? We hunted it, of course. Where? About a 2-hour ride southwest by horse. Isn't that the place where there was a sighting report a month ago? Another man asked. Perhaps it is. But with just the 5 of you? That's right. Unbelievable! Just 5 people. Is there a problem? Silence. No, none. So, am I correct in understanding that you're willing to sell this head to the guild? Are there other places to sell it? I'll be honest with you. A head this big and in this good of a condition is something the Merchants Guild or an auction house would be thrilled to handle. I see. If we sell it to the Adventurers Guild, does it raise something like our contribution points or reputation? Of course. The guild naturally gives preferential treatment to adventurers who prioritize the guild's interests. What do you all think? I turned to my party members to check. I think that would be fine, Elma said. Everyone else nodded in agreement. Then we'll sell it to you. Out of curiosity, how much will it be? The price will be determined based on past Kaitori prices. We'll need a little time. That's fine. We're not in any particular hurry. In that case, could you please appraise the other magic stones and subjugation parts? At my prompting, Serena and Sharon placed their bags on the table. What's this? The magic stones and subjugation parts from the other orcs. So you hunted other orcs as well? Yes. It was more like we hunted the General Orc as a bonus while we were hunting the other orcs. He motioned to another clerk who then peeked into the bags. What is that? Well, it's an incredible number of orc magic stones. What? The man hurriedly looked inside. What is this? How many are there? If we didn't miss any, there should be 74. The General Orc's magic stone was larger than the others, and after some discussion, we had decided to keep it because I wanted it. Silence. Were these also from the same place as the General? Yes, at what seemed to be an orc settlement. So you're saying you 5 attacked an orc settlement and brought all this back? That's right. Just the 5 of you. Yes. I see. No, I understand. We will appraise these immediately. The clerks hurriedly began to examine the magic stones and right ears. There are indeed 74. One of the clerks ran out of the room. He came back immediately and handed something to the man. All right, this is for the 74 orcs, at 600 guinea for the magic stone, and 150 guinea for the subjugation reward. which comes to 55,500 guinea. Please accept this. Yes, I confirm the amount. Thank you very much. If there are no other issues, we'll be on our way. No, wait a moment. I apologize for the late introduction. I am Kevin, the guild master of this adventurous guild. The guild master? My apologies. I am Alan, the leader of the C-rank party, Shining Star. We'll be operating out of here for the time being, so we look forward to working with you. No, the pleasure is all ours. If you don't mind, would you introduce your members? I prompted everyone with a look. I'm Ria. I'm Elna. I'm Sharon. I'm Serena. My, what a beautiful group of... never mind. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Well then, we'll be taking our leave. An attendant escorted us out of the guild. Whew, that turned into a big deal. I told you it would, Elna said. That's right. I had asked that man to watch the horses. Sorry, we made you wait quite a while. Please take this. I handed the man watching the horses another 5 large copper coins. Silence. Thank you kindly. May I have your name? It's Alan. I'll ask for you again. Yes, sir. Likewise, Master Alan. What's your name? It's Jill. See you around. Yes, sir. We returned the horses to the rental stable and got our deposit back. It was already close to 2 in the afternoon. It's gotten pretty late. It has. If it's all right, I'd really like to take a bath, Sharon said. Me too. Everyone agreed, so we decided to take a bath and then have a late lunch. By the time we all finished our baths and gathered, it was nearly 3 o'clock. If we have a proper lunch now, we won't be hungry for dinner. How about we wander around town and grab some snacks instead? Let's do that. I want to get used to this city quickly anyway, said Claria. Everyone else agreed, so we decided to head out into the city. There were food stalls, but many of them were rather unimpressive. As we were wandering around wondering where to go, someone called out to us. Big Bro and the Big Sisters, what are you guys up to? It was Theo. Behind him was Ella, gnawing on some dried meat. Hey, if it isn't Theo, good to see you. Know any good food stalls? My treat. Really? Then this way. We've never eaten there, but there's a stall everyone says is amazing. We followed Theo as he practically dragged Ella, who was still chewing on her dried meat, and he led us at a brisk pace down a side street off a main road. There, we saw a food stall with several people around it eating what looked like grilled skewers. This is it, Big Bro. It's got a great reputation. An undescribably delicious aroma hung in the air. A rugged-looking old man was grilling skewers with large pieces of meat and vegetables alternating on them. Old man, 7 of those skewers, please. Coming right up. Just a minute. After about a minute, they seemed to be ready. Here you go. 10 guinea apiece, so that's 70 guinea. That's a pretty steep price, I thought, as I handed 70 guinea and we each took a skewer. I made sure to get ones for Theo and Ella. Big Bro, too. Are you sure? Don't be silly. One is for Ella. Ella, thank the Big Bro. Big Bro. Time to dig in. This is delicious. It's like chicken, but incredibly tender with a texture I've never had before. And the sauce is amazing. It's a salt-based sauce with a strong garlic flavor, and I'm sure it has several herbs in it. He must have basted it several times while grilling. The fragrant aroma is irresistible. At this price, I can see why it's 10 guinea a skewer. Old man, what kind of delicious meat is this? I asked as I approached the stall. This here is the thigh and calf meat of a big blue frog. I remember reading about that in the Monster Encyclopedia. A big blue frog that's nearly a meter long. Blue things don't usually whet my appetite, but if it's this delicious, I can make an exception. It seemed the girls who were all exclaiming how delicious it was hadn't heard. It was probably better not to tell them. Theo and Ella were also eating with gusto. Theo, what happened to your parents? My mom's dead. My old man's an adventurer. Said that, but he hasn't been back for a year now. Nothing to do but wait patiently for him. Silence. I see. Well, hang in there. Of course, big bro. We parted with Theo and the others and headed back to the inn, window shopping along the way. By the time we got back, it was already dinner time. As we were enjoying another excellent dinner, Karina-san came to visit. I apologize for interrupting your meal, Lord Alan. Not at all. Care to join us for some wine? I must be leaving shortly. I have a message from Lord Silas. He is planning a small, private dinner party at his mansion tomorrow evening to celebrate Lady Aristus' safe return. He would be honored if you all would attend. What shall I tell him? What do you all think? I believe we should accept the invitation. Everyone agreed, so we decided to accept it. Thank you very much. I will inform him as such. A carriage will come to pick you up tomorrow around 5 in the evening. Is that so? That would be a great help. We will be ready. Then I shall take my leave, Lord Alan. All right, then. Tomorrow, let's take on another standing quest that we can finish early like today. Everyone was fine with that, so we decided to turn in early for the night.